Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my new Batman video about this brand new suit that just surfaced, blowing everyone's minds. One of the designers working on the DC movies posted this. There's a bunch of Easter eggs, I'll explain what's going on with it. It's really cool. There's also been talk of a second Batman suit during Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie. I'll explain that too. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll do a new Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know what your favorite version of the Batman suit is from anything, from the comics, from the movies, from the animated series, anywhere. But just starting with number 5, like I said, designer working on the DC movies for a long time recently posted a really cool new Batman batsuit that he designed for one of the movies. It looks super hardcore, it's amazing, so naturally everyone was trying to figure out which Batman DC movie he designed it for and what the story behind it was. Most of us have just been focused on the Robert Pattinson Batman suit that we've seen him wearing in the Batman trailer for the past few months, which itself is a combination of a bunch of different Easter eggs and references from a ton of different Batman suits. The designer that dropped this Batman suit is not the same person who designed Robert Pattinson's Batman suit though. He posted this to his Facebook page. The text of the post just reads, "Here's a Batman design I did for a canceled project. It's always incredible to do a bat suit and make it work for a new story. Batman is my absolute favorite comic book character and I'll never get tired of working on him." If you don't know who J.S. Marantz is, he's actually one of the big-time concept designers who's worked on a bunch of DC movies and Marvel movies, including the Justice League movie before Zack Snyder left the project a couple years ago. Here's some of his early Cyborg designs when they were developing that movie. He worked on the Shazam movie, designing the costume. He worked on Marvel's Doctor Strange movie. He worked on the Spider-Man movies back during the Andrew Garfield era, Amazing Spider-Man. This is what his version of the Lizard looked like when they were developing that. So when you see that he posted a brand new design for a Batman movie that looks super hardcore, but the project was canceled, you wonder, what was that canceled movie supposed to be? Number 4, there have been a lot of theories, but the design cues on the costume itself and the physical look of this Batman should be all the clues you need to narrow it way down. It looks like an alternate version of Ben Affleck's Batman, which is totally different looking suit and red eyes in the cowl. The armor looks like a more advanced version of his armor plating on top of the fabric base layer, that gray base layer from his Justice League suit. And based on the way he posted this, it sounds like he made it a couple years ago. So think about the movies that DC was planning a couple years ago. That was when they were still doing Justice League 2 and Ben Affleck was still planning on doing the Batman movie himself. But here's the thing, I don't think this Batman suit was for Justice League 2, and I don't think this was for Ben Affleck's version of the Batman movie. Yes, he's super swole, and the form of him overall just resembles Ben Affleck's huge buffed up version of Batman in the style of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns Batman. He's got the Ben Affleck chunky Frank Miller Batman symbol on his chest. But this Batman looks way older than Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck's Batman was only supposed to be in his 40s, even though, maybe he had some silver stubble around his chin. He's got way more white hair around his face in this design. So 3, I think a lot of people have guessed correctly that this Batman design was probably for a canceled version of the Flashpoint movie from a couple years ago. And this was actually meant to be a version of Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think the red eyes and the costume highlights, the more angular design, more attack-based design, are just a dead giveaway that it's meant to be DCEU Flashpoint Batman. And just to be clear, this is a concept designer that works on the movies, not on the games or anything else, so this was for a DCEU movie at one point. Doesn't it just blow your mind? Imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan mowing through villains in a darker version of the Flash movie wearing this. The Negan version of Batman. Make all the Lucille Batman jokes that you want. Now obviously the Flash movie that we're getting in a couple years, 2022, is very different now. I did a video for the Flash movie teaser trailer that they released at DC FanDome a while ago, and clearly they took things in a different creative direction when Andy Muschietti came onto the project.
So I'd like to share a couple of concept art drawings, and it's Barry Allen's new suit. As you can see, it's more organic. You can see light embedded in it. It has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time.
If you don't know who he is, he's the person that just got done doing the It movie, so he's more of a horror director. Even though the Flash movie isn't going to be a horror DC movie, there'll be some horrific elements, I'm sure, some scary elements. But number 2, they already said there's no version of Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman in the Flash movie. Instead, now it's Ben Affleck's Batman because they just announced that he was coming back. Huge surprise, everyone just blown away that he's coming back. But of course he has to come back for a Flashpoint story. And Michael Keaton's Batman, obviously, which freaked everyone out earlier this year, from an alternate universe where the Tim Burton Batman movies exist in the multiverse. So the Flash movie is basically a multiverse movie combined with the Justice League Flashpoint story. Jeffrey Dean Morgan did say that he would love to come back as Flashpoint Batman in the DCEU, so never say never. It just sounds like they had much darker plans for the Flash movie Flashpoint story a couple years ago. But stuff like this happens all the time. Super cool designs for characters in canceled movies. It was like that with Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut designs for a long time until Warner Brothers decided to greenlight the Snyder Cut for HBO Max. If you've been watching all the stuff that Zack Snyder has been posting in all the live streams, the Comic-Con panels that he's done the past year, he said that actually didn't get started happening until the end of last year. Zack Snyder said that he started speaking to actual Warner Brothers executives about doing the project at the end of last year. Then after that, he started speaking with the other Justice League actors like Ben Affleck to get their support for it. And of course, they did give their support. Cut to a couple weeks ago at DC FanDome when he releases the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer and we see a bunch of those canceled designs actually showing up in the movie the way he originally intended it. Probably the biggest change we've seen so far from a design standpoint, in addition to just the way he color grades and lights the movie, because the color just looks completely different, is the Steppenwolf character himself. He's completely different from Steppenwolf in the theatrical cut. And that's only the beginning. Obviously, the Snyder Cut is going to be over 4 hours long, and there's going to be so many different things that'll show up. There'll be more Snyder Cut trailers before the end of the year, so hopefully we'll see some more footage or some more clips in the next couple of months. Then there'll also be some more trailers early next year. Right now, everyone kind of thinks they're going to be releasing that around the spring, early summer next year. But number 1, as for the second new Batman suit in Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie, the reason why there's all this talk going around about multiple Batman suits in the movie comes from a report earlier this year. There was a blogger that posted some of the details on the Batman movie, and some of those were then later verified when they released the Batman trailer. So then people were saying that the chances of the other things that were in that same original report might be true, and that was where the multiple Batman suit talk came from. But if you listen to what Matt Reeves has said about the Batman movie and Bruce Wayne's life during the events of the movie, it makes sense that he would be constantly changing and upgrading his gear, not just the Batman suit. Robert Pattinson's Batman is meant to be year 2 Batman, so everything about him is evolving very rapidly. His tactics, his style of crime fighting, all of his tech like the Batmobile, and his gear like the Batman suit. And when you think about it, Batman always gets a new bat suit in every new Batman-related movie. Mostly for merchandising purposes, they gotta sell those new toys, and kids won't buy new toys if they don't change the suit.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
But what they might do during this first new Batman movie is just tease an alternate upgraded version of the suit at the end of the movie after the first one gets trashed during all the fights. The Batman trailer footage that we all saw is only taken from about 25% of the movie, but he looks like he pushes himself so hard he winds up trashing all of his gear all the time, every single night. If you look at the 4K versions of the trailer and blow it up way big, zooming in, you can actually see a lot of stitches and lines running all over the cowl itself. Matt Reeves said that they designed it to be that way from the start, just because the idea is that when we meet up with this version of Batman, he's been getting in so many fights every single night. There's so many stab wounds, so many cuts all over the place that his cowl has been torn to shreds multiple times and then stitched back together. Let me know in the comments, though, what do you think about the DCEU Flashpoint Batman suit and about Robert Pattinson wearing multiple Batman suits during the new movie? In related news, The Boys Season 2 episodes are starting this Friday. If you haven't seen that series, it's a great, dark parody of the Justice League and Marvel's Avengers, big comic book movies. I'll be doing weekly episode videos for it. My first one will post tomorrow. Be sure to watch the series. It is hardcore. Congratulations, Brendan S. You're the giveaway winner from my last big DC video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here to re-watch the Batman trailer a million more times and learn about the Court of Owls Easter eggs. And click here for the Flash movie trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.